Mark this day, June 24, 2025. This is far more than a simple mark on your planner. This precise instant was reserved for you in the grand design, ages before your first breath. Your presence here, right now, isn't some chance occurrence. You've been handpicked, purposefully, and by a higher power for this very season. I get it that term handpicked might weigh on you. Perhaps readiness isn't what you're feeling. Perhaps old memories try to tell you you're not enough. Listen closely, though your selection wasn't about flawlessness. You were selected because you possess a gift humanity is crying out for. Through all these years, existence has been subtly molding you, often through discomfort. That feeling of being alone, it wasn't a penalty, it was your training. When others got the spotlight, you were being carefully crafted. When others hurried forward, you felt a check to hold back. That pause was sacred. The essence within you demands profoundness. It demands resilience. It demands stillness before the symphony. And now that quiet period is over. Timing, you see, holds an incredible force. You might have sensed you were invisible. Yet the universe has watched every single step you've taken. All that was concealed is now on the verge of disclosure. All your uncertainties are about to click into place. This explains why surrender was impossible even when you craved it. This explains why your inner fire wouldn't extinguish when circumstances aimed to crush you. Your design wasn't for shattering. Your destiny was to ascend. So here you stand. Not a casualty of history, but a conduit for a mission. This very instant is what your spirit has yearned for. Humanity urgently requires your commitment. Therefore, hold your head high, not with pride, but with a God-given assurance. You were selected, you were dispatched, and the moment is now. Glance back briefly, not to dwell, but to fully acknowledge your incredible journey. The tempests, the quiet stretches, the unexplained deceptions, those evenings you wept and only silence answered. These experiences were more than just hurt. They were teachings veiled. They were groundwork. You underwent a polishing, not a dismissal. And even if it seemed your world was crumbling, the reality was an opening, allowing something more magnificent to emerge from your core. It's simple to fall for the falsehood that hardship signifies you're doomed or abandoned. In actuality, those shadowed times were hallowed spaces. They forged your integrity, molded your stamina, and incinerated all that was unsuited for your ascent. There's a purpose behind why your desires weren't met on your schedule. It wasn't refusal, it was refinement. You needed to part with specific individuals to discover your authentic path. You needed solitary paths to discern divine guidance clearly. You needed to encounter opposition so your belief could deepen past superficiality. And today, you are more resilient, more insightful, more serene, yet more assured. You now bear a quality unlearnable in ease. It was forged amidst trials. Throughout this period, you weren't facing retribution. You are being readied for a responsibility few are designated to bear. Don't hold bitterness for the journey. It served as your crucible, and with that readiness achieved, you step ahead with new insight. Understanding this fact, the very suffering that aimed to shatter you is now the bedrock supporting your mission. An instant arrives when the concealed must come to light, not solely for others, but for your own understanding. You've journeyed with weighty inquiries burdening your soul. Why was I distinguished? Why did I sense this uniqueness? Why did some opportunities vanish for me while they were readily available to all others? Today, the explanations start to emerge. For when the destined hour strikes, reality cannot remain interred. The mist starts to clear, and your vision sharpens to what your core has perpetually understood. You were never designed to fit in. You were branded, summoned, and reserved for a purpose transcending this earthly plane. This is the reason common roads were ineffective for you. This is the reason you couldn't compel yourself to trail the masses. Your spirit held a verity clashing with societal deceptions. And for a considerable time, you might have doubted your worth, unaware that the very aspects making you feel out of place signaled your calling. But presently, the curtain is ripping, the mirages are shattering, the reality of your being and your dispatched task is ascending. Society attempted to persuade you that you were excessive or inadequate, yet now the insight dawns. You are precisely the individual you were fashioned to be, and those facets of you previously misconstrued will now guide others to their own enlightenment. This is the time of disclosure, of embracing your authentic self. What was formerly hidden is now proclaimed, so widen your gaze, calm your spirit, and believe what is unfolding before you. Because after reality is unveiled, you cannot return to slumber. In each life path, a point arrives when the universe declares, go, not at your peak readiness, not when appearances are flawless, but when your essence has persevered, grown, and harmonized with the gravity of your mission. That point has arrived. Your spiritual advancement is now sanctioned. Not by mortals, not by accolades or cheers, but by the invisible dimension that observed your silent dedication. You didn't pursue approval. You opted for commitment. You avoided easy ways. You remained on the focused route. And while it demanded sacrifice, while it seemed you lagged, the reality is you were ascending unseen. Now that phase is concluded. A transformation has occurred in the unseen, soon to materialize in your world. The influence you wield, the serenity you embody, the lucidity in your words, these will be undeniable. This isn't about self-importance or status. It's about careful management. Advancement brings increased accountability, broader effect, and stronger safeguarding. You're no longer functioning in mere existence mode. You're progressing with inspired tactics. The connections, the provisions, the new pathways, they are not coincidences. They are designated tasks falling into place. You've transitioned from anticipation to action, from wishing to certainty. Explanations are no longer necessary from you. Your results will be the testament. The illumination will reveal authenticity. Proceed not as one wishing for selection, but as one already appointed by a much higher power. For when the universe approves your next stage, no earthly force can impede it. With the summons now distinct and your advancement granted, room for wavering has vanished. You are required to embrace total commitment, not fragmented, not dependent on terms, but absolute. This isn't the occasion for self-doubt or awaiting further validation. You've received the message, you've noticed the indicators, you've sensed the awakening within. Such commitment is no longer a choice, it's imperative. And grasp this commitment isn't merely about deeds, it's about congruence. It's opting to proceed when discomfort arises. It's vocalizing even if your tone trembles. It's believing when the result is unseen. It's arising daily with a silent determination to trade your course, even without applause, even without comprehension from others. Because your guidance isn't from the multitude. You adhere to a superior directive. You cannot bear this mission's gravity while burdened by procrastination. The period of nearly there is finished. That iteration of you still pondering readiness must now dissolve. The divine seeks not flawlessness, but your complete yielding. Absolute commitment implies trusting the journey even when the full path is obscured. It means acting justly even when unpopular. It means foregoing ease for significance. And indeed, commitment will have its price. It might cost relationships, routines, past selves, and the mirage of command. Yet, your reward is sacred insight, tranquility beyond comprehension, and an existence filled with purpose, unpurchasable and genuine. You weren't created for mere safety. You were selected to bring illumination to shadows. And illumination needs no consent to radiate. Thus, this is your instant to cease postponing, cease diminishing, and cease bargaining with your purpose. You've perceived enough. You've held back enough. Now, action is imperative. This current unfolding extends beyond you, it's worldwide. You sense it, don't you? A palpable change is in the air. Established structures are collapsing. Deceptions are being unveiled. Individuals globally are stirring, challenging former beliefs, aspiring for more profound, authentic experiences. This transcends a mere phase, it's a collective spiritual enlightenment. And you're not a spectator, you are integral to it. You represent a vital component in this sacred surge. Your arrival on Earth was no accident. You were dispatched for this precise era, for a mission greater than your own life. Your awakening serves not merely to evade shadows, but to face them with verity, compassion, and inner power. The path you've trod, the suffering you've overcome, the insight you've acquired, it wasn't solely for your restoration, it was to empower you to assist humanity. Your existence is a guide, an illumination, a beacon for those ensnared in bewilderment, and you stand with others. Across the globe, kindred spirits are ascending. The quiet, the misjudged, the concealed, souls polished in solitude now emerge with lucidity and passion. This is the emergence of the summoned, the selected, the enlightened. It's past concern for recognition or status. It's about influence. It's about commitment. It's about understanding your identity and your dispatch. This is a sacred synchronization. You are in step with cosmic rhythm. Your words now possess gravity. Your actions alter energies. Your walk in authenticity inspires others to ascend too. That is how enlightenment proliferates, not by coercion, but by congruence. So never undervalue your being. Never diminish your expression. You are not insignificant. You are not tardy. You are not ineligible. You are perfectly on schedule. And your affirmation in this moment could ignite liberation for ages to come.